don't think people really dig into the difference. Now, we're breaking down what it means to love someone versus being in love with someone. So the topic today is love versus in love, and what's the difference? So go ahead, grab your wine, your tea, coffee, whatever makes you feel good, because I've got mine. So let's go ahead and let's jump right on into it. So now let's start with love. Love is deep, love is real, and is often the foundation of any strong relationship. You can love your family, love your friends, and yes, love your partner. It's about caring, support, and having someone's back through the ups and the downs of life. But here's where it gets pretty tricky. Just because you love someone doesn't always mean you're in love with them. Now, being in love is different. That's where the chemistry, the passion, and that spark, that's where that comes in. It's the butterflies in the stomach. It's that magnetic pull where you're drawn to that person emotionally and physically. Love, this being in love, is intense. And it's what often gets people into relationships in the first place. But the truth is, being in love is like a flame. It burns hot, right? In the beginning, it burns so hot. But if you don't tend to it, it can fade. And that's where a lot of people get caught up, thinking that when the passion dies down, the love is gone, when in fact, it's just evolved. So here's the real tea. You can love someone without being in love with them. And that's why some relationships feel more like partnerships or friendships as time goes on. And on the flip side, you can be in love with someone and not have that deep, steady foundation of love to carry you through the hard times. That's why relationships needs both. Think of love as the roots of a tree. It's what holds you down, keeps you stable, right? And being in love are the branches and the leaves. They're long, they're strong, and it's beautiful. It's what people see. But without those strong roots, it can't survive the storms. You can't build a relationship just on passion alone. But you also can't ignore the need for that emotional and physical connection. So how do you know the difference? When you love someone, you care for their well-being first, right? You respect them, and you want the best for them. You're also committed to them, even when things aren't always perfect. But when you're in love, there's an emotional intensity, a desire to be close together, to grow together, to be vulnerable, and to share all parts of yourself with them. And here's a little nugget of wisdom. For my people out there, you can fall in and out of love, of being in love. But real love can stand. It can withstand those waves. It grows and it changes as life happens. If you can nurture both love and being in love, that's where you find that long-lasting, fulfilling relationship. See, my husband and I's journey hasn't always been perfect. But here's the truth of the matter. We found a balance between loving each other and being in love with one another. There were times when, we weren't connecting on that level. But you know what? Love held us together until we could find that spark again, that in love spark again. And that's what makes a relationship last. It's not just about the good times or when everything's so smooth. It's about sticking together through the storms and then coming out stronger. So whether you're just questioning your own relationship or you're just trying to understand the difference, just remember this. Love is the steady heartbeat that keeps things alive. And being in love is the excitement that keeps things fresh. They're both important, but they're not the same thing. Okay? They're not the same thing. So now that you kind of know the difference with that, I'm hoping that this gives some type of clarity, because sometimes you can, wonder, you've been with someone for so long and you can wonder why, you're having a disconnected feeling to them, right? And that disconnection could be that you do love them. That's the connector. But that disconnect could feel, that means that could be that in love and being in love, it's a little disconnect there. So you just have to figure out how you connect the two back together, the love and being in love. And you link them back together. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Okay. So whether that's, doing certain activities together, whether that's having conversations about this particular topic, I think, you have to be open with each other and you have to communicate. Communication is key. And when you do communicate how you really feel, that could help you not to fall apart, where you lost being in love and you lost the love. So you don't want it to get to that far where you lost both. So if you still have love for them and you don't really plan on going anywhere, and because that love is strong, but you just don't know how to get that in love back, I suggest that you have a conversation. Let them know, because you can be walking around, that person could be walking around unaware. Everybody's busy in life. Everybody has a lot on their mind, a lot of things going on, whether it's health-wise, whether it's work-wise, whether it's other outside friendship stuff, circles, family, whatever. We all have a lot going on. And sometimes, unless our partners pull us aside and we have that downtime to talk about certain things, that person will never know that you're feeling disconnected. So, like I said, I suggest you having that conversation. Be upfront, open, and vulnerable with them. And let them, this is coming from a place of love, and that you want to fix it. You want to work on your relationship together. So I would suggest that you do that. And I want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast today. Thank you for joining me. And that's the love talk for today. Reflect on that. Share with someone who you think might find this helpful. And as always, stay true to yourself, right? And I'm your host, K-Love, and I'll catch you on the next episode. And until then, don't forget to like a podcast, share, and subscribe. And let's keep the conversation going in the comments and on social media. And let's discuss further. You can find more tips and advice for your relationship in my new book. And you can buy it on Amazon. The physical copy, which is a paperback, is on Amazon. You can find Love's Secret Code. You can also download your copy today at The Love Place, and that is an ebook. And don't forget to follow on all social media platforms. Facebook, like I said, Love Our Talks. And the more you support my podcast, the more we will keep bringing you relationship advice.